Prepare for ultimate deletion.
Yes!
Today on Into the Ring Out of the Box, we're looking at Retro Series 10, Woken Matt Hardy. Delete! But maybe not. We might want to actually keep this guy. We'll see in a minute or two. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Matthew.
And this is Vinny, the wrestling figure historian.
Welcome to Nerd News Today, Into the Ring, Out of the Box, our series all about wrestling figures. And today we've got one that I'm very excited to get.
Yes, it is Matt Hardy from Series 10 of the WWE Retros.
Not just any Matt Hardy, this is the Woken Matt Hardy.
Yes!
That's going to get annoying real fast.
Oh yeah, I don't know how much longer we can do this for.
I just feel like I'm Fran Drescher.
Oh, Mr. Sheffield.
We actually looked at Jeff Hardy back in, I believe it was Series 8.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we've got both the Hardys together, and they're both in their current representation, or at least at the time, their current attires.
Yes.
More or less. And so we got the team together, which is really cool. We got them both. This figure represents him as Woken Matt Hardy. Before we even open the figure, I do want to mention, I kind of wish they had done retro, as in actual retro Hardys. Like, I would have liked to have gotten Attitude Era Hardys.
Yeah, it would have made more sense for this line.
Yeah.
But just to get the Hardys in general is always a plus.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy nonetheless.
Now, as always, the packaging, it's that simple Hasbro-esque style packaging with a nice stylized picture of Matt Hardy in the ring. And we kind of noted on a previous video that you could already start telling that Mattel was cutting corners at this point with this series.
Yeah, you can see in the corner here, this little image over here. In the past, it's been the wrestlers doing their signature moves or doing some kind of action. With all of Series 10, they're just standing there. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, it's pretty generic and starting to get away from the Hasbro feel, for lack of a better term. We're starting to understand maybe why this series is now going on ice.
And on the back, you can see who else is joining Matt Hardy in this line, which is JYD, Big Daddy Cool, Diesel, and Elias. And you can also see the WWE Mayhem app still integrated into these toys. We've got a code for that, so stay tuned later to get that code. And again, we're talking about the moves here. We're already kind of seeing, this is supposed to be Matt Hardy doing his leg drop. He's just kicking the air.
Yeah, and it's also, why would they give him a leg drop? Well, he did used to do a flying leg drop off the top rope, so okay, maybe that
but
makes
not anymore.
sense.
He doesn't do that anymore.
No, at this era, you're right. This is maybe where you could say they should have done Attitude Era Matt Hardy, but upon looking at this, this might be one of the best figures they came out with.
We will have to see. I have some ideas about him, but I think at this point, we'll have to make our decisions once he's loose.
Yep. So let's pop that bubble.
And open him up. And here's our Woken Matt Hardy out of the package. And he looks pretty good, actually.
Yes, he does. He does have that crazed face, which was perfect for the time period that they're depicting.
Yeah, the face I actually do like a lot. I do like this series of head sculpts. They're not my favorite of the bunch. I'll come back to that in a moment. But, oh, well, Matt Hardy hits the ropes real hard. That's good. So that was the kick feature you saw right there, and that's one of my issues as well. We're seeing a lot of problems, I guess, right up front for me at least.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that action feature if I get him a stand. But here's the back of his head. You can see the hair, how that works out. So I do want to say about the face, first things first. I like it, but it's kind of simplistic.
Overall, this figure is a bit simplistic because Matt Hardy at this point was wearing some intricate attires.
Yeah, they clearly did not want to spend money on painting at this point or any kind of... Pretty much anything they could do to cut corners, they were. So they have these plain blue jeans, basically, or plain blue, whatever you want to call them, because it's like... They're not tights, they're kind of loose, but he never would wear anything that simple.
Isn't it basically they just copied the Jeff Hardy body and just swapped heads?
Might be, actually, yeah. I mean, they're pretty similar. I don't have Jeff Hardy with us today, but, for whatever reason, Jeff looked better than this. Well, actually, you know why he looked better? He had a better paint job.
He had a better paint job, and it was more detailed.
Yeah, much better head sculpt. This head sculpt here, it's Matt Hardy, so they got that right, but it is very bland, Matt Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Back of the hair is nice, though.
The back of the hair is nice. Like I said, the sculpt of the head and everything is really nice, in my opinion. But then it's like a big letdown with everything else.
Yeah. So let's talk action feature, because he has that leg drop that he uses so much these days.
So
that's the leg drop, folks.
Yep.
That's the leg drop. It's a kick.
But it does seem like it's strong.
It does. It actually is pretty strong. But as we mentioned, just chronologically, it's very confusing because he's not really using that leg drop, and it's just weird. It's like, are you gonna actually play with him like this? You can,
You
but
can actually. Essentially, it does work that way.
it's just kind of funny that to me. I mean, I don't know.
You know what? It makes sense to give him the kick feature, because on anybody else, the legs are not posable.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna make the legs posable, make them functional.
So here's my thing with the legs. And, you know, I've really been, for the entire 40-something figure line, I really haven't nitpicked or complained much about the legs. With the exception of the kickers. I always kind of wish there was a little bit more articulation in some of the legs, but again, that's not really the style of figures that these are.
The basing it off the Hasbro's,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
neither did the Hasbro's. The only ones that had any sort of leg articulations is anybody who had a stomp feature, or the only other one was maybe Earthquake and Typhoon and Bam Bam Bigelow, because they had no hip movement.
Yeah. So most of the time they didn't have it, and I know that's why they basically chose to do it that way. But I always kind of liked seeing some of these guys with their legs like this. I like them both ways, I guess. But for me, when they have the legs like this, it's like it's cool because I like the idea of being able to play with them in that way. But because how the kicks usually work, they often just don't hold their position.
No,
a lot of
and
figures.
to stand them up to display them, it's a pain.
Yeah, because you can see even here, we're having a little bit of trouble getting him to stay in one spot.
And
that's probably because of his hand. And I want to point out, too, before I go further, his joints are so stiff out of the box. This is like Diamond Select level of stiff.
Oh boy,
you feel that? I'm not exaggerating. Like, it's moving that slow. You have to put a lot of force to move his limbs
for a figure to move. But
I mean, at least it's stiff. I don't mind that.
Better stiff than loose. Better stiff than loose out of the box.
But that's pretty bad for a Mattel figure.
At the same time, that could be a figure-to-figure basis. Not maybe another Jeff Hardy. I mean, maybe another Matt Hardy wouldn't be like this. Gotta keep that in mind. This could be one of those figure-by-figure basis.
Yeah, usually it's how it is. And, you know, your paint applications will also vary figure-to-figure. Luckily, because it is a mostly simple paint job, there's not really much to worry about there.
Yeah, you mentioned before how to stand this figure just for display purposes might not be easy because of the kick feature. This was also where Mattel started getting lazy and stopped giving us stands for these figures.
And the stands make a big difference, especially with the kickers.
Yes. I'm not gonna lie, except for the simplistic attire, it's not that bad of a figure. Let's test out the strength of that kick.
I know who we can test it out on.
The worst figure of the line.
Woo, woo, woo. I'm terrible. We like Zack Ryder, but we hate your figure. So,
sorry, Zach.
Let's see how the nut kick works. That's basically what it is. Well, let's try that again. Getting him in the nards. Long Island. Let's get those Long Island ice nards. Oh, wow. That was
a lot more forceful than I thought.
You gotta shoe up a prostate there.
Yep.
I think the kick is actually surprisingly strong.
Yes.
But again, you know, for a loose collector like myself, getting him to stand, it can be problematic without stands.
Yeah. Which
we actually do have. We have some from Ringside Collectibles, which I'll be probably putting mine on. You know, it's like, I like this figure. I do like it. It's one of the better ones in Series 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's just definitely some things I wish they had done better. That's a little more intricate paint job, better face, a little bit better face. Just like a little more detail in the face would make me happier.
Yeah. If they were going to go with the plain attire, then at least give a little bit more attention to the face. You're right.
Because there's just nothing going on there. Even on the back, you can see just nothing on the sides, nothing on the
no
front.
pockets, nothing. Don't go out of your way to buy this, but if you happen to find it, do it.
I mean, I already have Jeff, so I needed to have both.
Yes. This would be a good figure to have in your collection.
And it is, because it's in my collection, not yours. Get your own.
Mine.
Why do all our videos end like this?
Because you have to be a teaser.
So let's go ahead and give you guys the code. As much as Vinny doesn't want to give it to you, because Vinny's a horrible, horrible person. Here is the code for Matt Hardy in the WWE Mayhem game. First come, first serve. I think up to 5 people can use it. So if you get it, let us know. So that's our look at Retro Series 10 Matt Hardy from Mattel. Overall, we like him, more or less. Just wish there was a few things that were better.
And for that purpose, this definitely does not deserve a... Delete! Delete! You were supposed to join me in that one.
I was going to be the Jeff Hardy. I was going to be Jeff Hardy dancing, you know? Doing that Jeff Hardy dance thing he does. Like this. It's like, Jeff Hardy, Jeff Hardy. He's got to have two, you know? It's you were then being Matt, so I was going to be Jeff. You know, with like the weird face paint where you can't see my eye. Okay. I'm Matthew. That's Vinny, the wrestling figure historian. Ah! I've broken Vinny. Well, we can't really say that because it's trademarked by a different company.
Oh boy. Well, TNA does need money, so it might go after us for whatever little we have.